In Chapter 4, you're going to learn how to create tables in a website. Some of your objectives would be to define table elements. You want to know how to plan the use of a table in a website. We will be learning how to create borderless and tables with borders. These can be used to position images as well as for text. You will learn how to change the width of borders within your table, vertically and horizontally. We'll learn how to add background color to rows and cells and adjust spacing for what we call cell spacing and cell padding. You will learn how to insert captions under a table and create headings that span over rows and columns. On page 145, you can see the 4 pages that we're going to be creating for statewide realty. Okay. Take just a minute and look at page 146 and review the 7 steps in getting ready for your project, the planning process. Okay. Why use tables? Well, tables help us to organize information on a web page using HTML tags. We can organize images with borderless tables, and we can organize text using tables with borders. Okay. Some important table elements on page 149 include understanding a row is a horizontal line of information, a column is a vertical line of information, and a cell is where those two intersect. We have 2 types of headings. We have a heading cell, which displays text bold and center aligned, and we have a data cell that displays normal text. Okay. Again, we can do borders, tables with borders or tables without borders, and we have what are called rule attributes to help us to make borders larger or smaller as desired. Okay. On page 153, it talks about sketching out and planning your table so that it's effective and visually appealing and useful. And then on page 154, you see the common HTML tags. We use the start table and the end table commands. Okay, and so I've got my start table command here, and I have inside the start table, I have inserted align center so that my entire web page will be centered. Inside of that, I use a TR, which indicates the start of a table row. So this is my first row. And within that, I'm going to put some table data. And I'm actually going to put an image in here. And this image I got from Core Sites. It's called Statewide Realty. And that image is going to be the banner across my web page. So it's going to go in my first row. And then here you see I've ended here's the end of my table data, the end of my table row, and I've got the end of my table. The next step is going to be to create a horizontal menu bar with text links, similar to what you see in figure 416 on page 161. Okay, for the next part, we are going to create the horizontal menu bar, and to do that, we actually need to start another new table right underneath our first table. So I'm going to insert a new table, and I'm going to go ahead and do the end table tag just so I don't forget. And nested within that, we are going to put in the code for the text links as shown on page 162. Take a minute and do that now. Okay, here you can see that within that second table start and end tag, I have inserted a table width command, setting it to 70% of my entire web page so that I have some white space on either side of the table, and then I have center aligned that. Okay, after we have put in our first table row, which is actually going to hold the links to all of our other pages, we're going to have a link to our home page, we're going to have a link to by complex, one to by vacancy, and one to by bedrooms as shown on page 416. This is our first row. There's really only going to be one row with all 4 of those links. This first thing that I have to do is put in the table data command, and I'm going to have that be 25% since I have 4 sections. So I'm dividing the web page up into 4 sections. Here is your link to the second web page that we're going to call the home page, and you've got it. Don't forget to end the anchor and the data tag. Take a minute and do that. Okay, the second table data line is for what we call the pipe symbol, and it is just like a straight up and down line, and that's just a break between each of the section headings. And so I'm just going to put a width of 1% there. And the pipe is on my keyboard is right underneath my backspace key. Then what I recommend you do is just copy and paste this for the 3 remaining and then change the titles. So take a minute and do that. Okay, so what I've done here is I've copied these 2 rows here for statewide. I've just copied that 3 times, and then I've changed the web link, the href link, to complex, vacancy, and bedrooms, and then the names, I changed those as well. And then don't forget to end your table row. And that's all you have to do to create your horizontal menu bar. Let's see, make sure you put that as a end tag there for your table row.